but like you would not drink at prom because our headmaster would greet every one of you and look,
See,
you
what
guys
you
were
do,
different.
you got to think ahead. What you do is you make sure that the teachers chaperone the prom, right?
Right.
They got kids of their own. Make sure that kid is in your limo, and he is the drunkest of you all.
So
no way a mother is kicking her own son out of prom, and she'd have to kick us all out, right?
And we're live.
He just left work and came to pick up this 17-year-old girl in his car, of course. I bet I want to know the details. Like, did he?
Was it in a '98 Civic? Like,
did he spring for the limo? Right? Because there's no way I'd have ever gone to prom and not been in a limo. And I didn't know a girl who would like
I didn't go to prom with a limo, but it was just logistically a problem. I did go to prom in a limo because I dated somebody outside of school, so I went to 4 proms. I know she was
either
Canadian.
a great thing or a really bad thing.
Outside of school, did she have a radio show, and how old was she?
She was 57.
No, she was no. Yeah, no. She lived in proximity to me, so I knew her outside of school. She went to a different one, but I went to her prom in a limo, and my prom I didn't go with a limo because I lived so far away from my school. It just wasn't financially viable for 2 kids to ride in a limo by themselves.
Oh, you had the prom at your school?
I mean, the location was near. One prom was at Edgar Allan Poe's church.
Fancy.
Weird. The other one was at M&T Bank Stadium, which is where the Ravens play. That was her. Okay. So like, it made sense with her, but it just going in a limo was basically a bunch of kids sardined into a small limo, drinking non-alcoholic champagne, spilling it on each other for like 25 minutes.
I had the
that
opposite.
That is not our experience.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I had the opposite experience. First year, we had a stretch navigator, and we were playing that R. Kelly song where he's rapping about
where he pissed on girls?
Navigator. No, that's a different. We were watching that video, but he's rapping about being in the stretch navigator, and
Ignition?
It was yeah.
It's a keys to ignition.
Ignition.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the remix. But yeah.
Mama rolling that body, got every man in her wish. All right. Anyway, and there was booze left in the limo from like the previous degenerates who were in there. They were like not like the bottles that came in, but they pour them in like the fancy
in the water bottles.
Crystal bottles that are like square and everything. There was Crown and vodka in there, but I brought myself a big fucking bottle of vodka for the whole crowd. So when we got out of that limo, junior prom, we were trashed. We were staggering.
How did you, and this is for all of you guys, because for my prom, nobody drank until after or post prom. So the school in an effort to cut down from drinking would host their own post prom right afterwards. And then there was post prom, which was the house party that started at like 2 a.m. and went till whenever. But like you would not drink at prom because our headmaster would greet every one of you and look,
See,
you guys
what you
were
do,
different.
You got to think ahead. What you do is you make sure that the teachers chaperone the prom, right?
Right.
They got kids of their own. Make sure that kid is in your limo, and he is the drunkest of you all.
So
no way a mother is kicking her own son out of prom, and she'd have to kick us all out, right? And then the second year we had
some 4D chess.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Absolutely, I was ahead of my game. And then in the second year, we got a stretch Hummer. And when you split it like, I don't know if the girls had to pay for it, but I think there were 4 couples in each group, maybe 3 or 4 couples or something like that. I don't know if the girls paid. I know my girl didn't pay. I know I paid her part, but I don't know about the other girls. But anyway, yeah, prom was always fun,
dude.
I guess.
My stretch limo. So my junior year, being the first limo I'd ever rented, it went really shitty. Here's the deal: we were supposed to split it 3 ways, but like nobody was renting the limo. We just like all assumed someone else would do it. So eventually, I'm like, "What? We don't have a like." So I got it done. The thing is, all the good limos were gone. This thing, it's a stretch limo, but it was shitty and old. And on the inside, one of the door handles literally didn't work. So you had to wait for the chauffeur to come out and get your door for you, which, you could play off, but we knew. And it was shitty enough that one of the couples was like, I'm not paying for this limo. And I'm like, but you're reimbursing me. Like, I already paid for this. Like, you can't just not pay. And it's like, well, I'm not. It's like, what a dick.
We took him to small claims court.
Yeah. I just got ripped off. And it like,
that's
to
fun.
him, he was taking like a moral stand, but of course he just left me with the tab. I didn't know him that
bullshit.
well.
Yeah,
And,
What a prick. You
yeah.
can't be like a third of the way through dinner, and if you're paying, I'll be like, oh, this steak isn't even good.
You know what else is fucked up? It's still in my head. The chauffeur from that limo was good looking, right? And my mom is like, oh, look at the chauffeur. He's going to steal one of your dates. And it's like, you're supposed to think highly of me. You know, like, thanks.
Wow, she's been tearing you down for a generation.
She had, you know what? She had lust in her heart. And, you know, she committed adultery in her heart with that limo driver. That's a sin.
Those are the rules.
That's one of the 10 commandments.
Our limo driver actually ruined one of my proms because my date, her uncle had been killed by a drunk driver, right? Very traumatic thing in her life. Our limo driver takes us to the drive-through liquor store, buys us all liquor. We give him a little cash. He shifts the liquor to the back seat. Then he has himself a beer while he's driving. She did not like this. Then he starts talking about, sometimes I make long runs from Atlanta down to Miami. I just do a line of coke right off the hood of this son of a bitch. I'm good to go all night long. You know, a few weeks ago, we had Britney Spears in here and a bunch of girls. You know, her ass is fake too. And he's like telling us all these like raunchy stories and stuff about it. At one point, he had I had some lesbians in there one time. They were all fucking each other. My prom date is livid. Ruined the whole fucking night. There wasn't even any making out, let alone sex. The night was ruined by that alone because my friend and I laughed at this joke about it was funny. There was an adult and he was giving us alcohol. You laugh along, even if he is talking about doing lines of coke off the hood of his limo while he drives you to your senior prom.
This was her senior prom.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my
You're
area,
7. Yeah.
there was always drinking in the limo because I feel like it was generally understood the limos were to prevent drinking and driving. So they were kind of like, I don't know, a party bus. And that was like the expectation that they would prevent people from driving.
Taylor, does Kumia's, if you're on Tinder and you see Kumia's date, let's just say she's 18, because I know that's your mandatory minimum, as they say.
16, age of consent.
Not in his state.
Not ready to fight that one.
Would she be a yay or a nay?
She's cute, but nay.
I thought so.
Is this a unique opinion here? When I'm on Tinder, my minimum is set to 21 because the thought of trying to field a day where we don't go to a bar or we go out and have drinks is a pretty miserable idea for me.
No, the minimum is 18.
I want to lay that out there.
I just turned 25.
Okay.
So 18 would be 7 years younger than me. Roughly 20% younger than me. Yeah, 20. Yeah, big years. The difference between 17 and 25 are huge.
Yeah.
So it's not like your mom is 7 years younger than your dad. I mean, so the thought of matching with somebody who's like 19 and she's like, well, I have class tomorrow and no, we can't go to the bar or to a restaurant that has karting because LA has karting at restaurants after 8 p.m. on weekends sometimes. It's like, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.